Hi guys, it is Donna from Finding Your Own Magic. I actually have no idea what I'm going to say, but we're just going to let this roll. But the arc of this entire video that I wanted to make today is to remind you today to look for the good in the world. I feel like I've mentioned before about the whole idea. I definitely have mentioned about the scales where we have a dark side and we have a light side, and all it takes is to tip the scale by like 1%. So from like 51% to 49 to tip the scales in a light and positive direction. So that's what we want to do right now. I strongly feel that there are two kind of storylines going on at this moment, one of dark and one of light. We want to tip towards the light as much as possible. And how do we do that? We do that by noticing how we interact in our own personal lives. I think that's very important. How do we act with people? What is actually going on in your current life with the people that are around you? And be aware of that. Be aware of the present moment, and notice the light in that. I'm sure many of you can find light in your current present moment while shutting everything else out. I also think it's very important to become aware of where we are being triggered into emotion. And I think I've talked about this before. I have seen so much this week in social media of just very triggering headlines and news stories. Pay attention to where your emotions are being triggered, because once we trigger into emotion, it's very hard to see the bigger picture of what may be happening. So we're getting so caught up in these emotions and so caught up in these stories that we're failing to recognize the bigger picture. And the bigger picture can even be like what is actually going on in your personal life. So just pay attention to what you're being drawn to, pay attention to where you're being triggered, and try to notice, to ground yourself back into your present reality and find the good. You will find it. If you look for light, if you look for joy, if you look for goodness, you will find it. So start finding it. It's as important as ever. We need to tip the scales in that lighter direction as much as possible. We are very lucky. We are very fortunate. Honor those fortunes and luck of just being alive today and tip that scale. Important as ever to find love and joy now. Have a good one.